sinker, forgotten rotten. That was an interesting one.
What a performance from hook, line, sinker. Is this a team that we've almost been sleeping on, which I feel like you can do that. But when you break down the players and their skill sets, only the second team this tournament we've seen to cross the century mark. Yep. Big offensive outburst from them.
1,000%. And, you know, forgotten rotten, I will say this, even Justin Pinnock said he did not have a good game. They had a new teammate. There are no excuses, though, because Forgotten Rotten is all about their ego, all about cockiness, and all about winning. And at one point, I did hear Trev actually contemplate letting Matt hit instead of him to give him reps because they knew they were going to lose. I've never heard Trevor Plouffe say, I know I'm going to lose. So.
I think where part of the issue begins for Forgotten Rotten was that Matt did not know what the magic hole is. He did not even know the basics of our game, of our beautiful game that we know and love and has developed into, I mean, such a big sport that people just really enjoy watching, and Matt didn't even know one of the basic concepts of it. So I think they're struggling. This is a game that we've created, and when you bring in these new guys, they have to learn the rules, and unfortunately for Forgotten Rotten, they didn't know them.
You have to know about the magic hole. And on that note, we're going to throw it up to Chris Rose and Daren, Sammy in the booth. Guys?
Hook, line, sinkers with a 39-run win. This one really never in doubt. They really set the tone with their first strikes there in the first inning.
Yeah, Jess Karan came in and immediately was on fire. But I just love the way they bowl. Because in cricket, we have a saying, batters win you games, bowlers win you tournaments. So the defense, in any sport, if you don't have defense, you can't win. So they've put the runs on the board. We saw Forgotten Rotten off to a flyer. Trevor got off strike, and he never got it back. So the strategy was just wrong. You just had to get him back on strike. And in the end, just proved too much for Forgotten Rotten.
Yeah, really, I thought the game kind of changed there in the bottom of the first. You mentioned that Trevor Plouffe got off to a really hot start, a bunch of sixes, a bunch of fours, and then he got stranded out there on the base paths, if you will. You know, I think it was like in a 4 or 5 pitch difference, there were 3 wickets recorded.
Yeah, they took a hat trick, a team hat trick, which is 3 wickets in 3 legal deliveries. So it was just all over, and they did not face the quarter of balls. And you always behind the 8 ball when that happens. And you notice in the end they needed 80 runs to win in 3 overs, which is mathematically impossible.
So hook, line, sinkers, 2-0 in the regular season. They will be the 1 seed and get a bye come tourney time. Time right now to check in on our star of the game, who is standing by with Kelsey.
Yep, down here now with Jazz Karan. And Jazz, you really started off the game. You started it off with 18 straight points in the first over. You set the offensive tone, but then we saw some interesting antics from you purposely getting out so your teammates can hit. Can you explain to me the offensive strategy that allowed you guys to put up over 100 runs?
It was a big game today, and playing against Trevor, I mean, he's played Major League Baseball, so I wanted to do well. I mean, the level goes up. I mean, automatically that brings the best out of my game as well. And the good thing about my strategy is, like, I've been leading my franchises for a long time, so that kind of gives me the edge how to get that strategy in, and that proved right today, and I'm glad that my team came on top.
So now that you've played against Trevor Plouffe in a ball and play league game, if you had to guess how many big league home runs he hit in his Major League Baseball career, what would you guess?
I want him to guess how many sixes I've hit in my career. So I'm guessing probably 6.
He's 100 shy, Kels. He's 100 shy.
106. Okay. So you guys start, the regular season is over for you guys. You finished at 2-0. What is the strategy for you guys in the playoffs? What is something that you want to stay the same or something you think you guys need to do differently in the playoffs?
I think just stay the same. It's more like a reaction game. We don't want to pre-plan too much. It's same as cricket. We see the ball, we hit the ball. If we react to the ball, I think the better we play. So it's just like take it one game as a step. But of course, in the playoff game, you want to step up a little notch as well.
Thank you so much for your time. 6 career home runs for Trevor Plouffe in Major League Baseball as hook, line, sinkers takes the win here in the warehouse.
Let's dive into some Game 5 highlights, which basically is hook, line, sinker hitting boundary. after boundary after boundary.
Oh! They're all fired up now.
And it didn't stop with Jay. BBD steps up to the plate and hits a 6. Another 4 right off the bat. Drew Davis said, wait, hold on, I want in on the action. And Trevor Pluth was absolutely defeated.
Basically, the game is almost over. So I'm trying to think for the next game.
Whoa!
Honestly, shocking to hear that out of Trevor Pluth's mouth. So let's see what he has to say about this very ugly loss.
You know, we didn't hit. 3 consecutive outs, not very good. I don't think that happens too often, right? I never seen it in ball and play. But that's all right. You know, it's one loss, and we have more games ahead of us. I think that's where our head is at right now. Like, put it behind us. We got a lot more bowls to go.
A lot of confusion in that second inning for you guys. Trev, you didn't bat. A lot of people were expecting you to come up. Just your thoughts on the decision to not bat there.
I wanted to hit, but they told me I couldn't start the inning, so we were off, and we were down 80.
Yeah.
Which we pretty much had to have all 6s there. And my thought process was we have more games ahead of us. Like, we're going to have these guys contribute. So let's get some reps in, some big league reps. You can't replicate that, you know, in practice.
Do you feel like the weird handshake was at the beginning, there was a handshake, there wasn't a handshake, and there finally was a handshake. Did you feel like that affected the game at all?
No, I had no idea what, and like I didn't know we were supposed to shake hands. And then when I found out we were supposed to shake hands, I shook his hand. That was what happened. I think there was a lot of people trying to spark controversy when there was none today, and I don't like that, okay?
I want to spark some more controversy.
Oh, no.
Jazz Coran just guessed that you have 6 career big league home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What's your response to that?
He's 100 short.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's my response.
I also have a question. Trev, why are you the only teammate talking?
You guys keep asking me questions.
No, we're asking the team.
That's not true at all. They've been all directed towards me, Paxton. This energy that's going on right now, you're not going to permeate this. We have a good vibe going on right now, and like you guys can't break it.
First game in the warehouse, well, obviously kind of a while. What were your thoughts on the first time you're playing here?
Warm-up game. Felt good. Just getting reps in and listening to these guys and go from there. Yeah, I'm hoping we can win this whole thing, so looking forward to it.
Tough one for you guys. How do you rebound and how do you move forward from this one now?
I think sometimes losing's a good thing. Often in the round-robin stages, a loss is good for the team. You work out where your mistakes are. Winning and going through to the finals without having a loss, you always know, I don't care what sport you play, there's a loss around the corner somewhere. So sometimes those long streaks have to come to an end, and they're going to know that going into the finals with only winning. So having a loss somewhere often does a hell of a lot of good for a team. So I think it'll stand us in good stead, and we get extra reps this afternoon, which is not the end of the world.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we stuck to our game plan from game one. Jay had an amazing game, which, you know, we always need. Pitched great, hit great. We saw our pitches in the first inning, which is kind of the goal. Like, it's not just to go up there and hit 4s and 6s. It's see every pitch, don't give them outs and stuff like that. And then having Trev on the bench in the second inning, and Trev, you know, being a good teammate, sending his teammates out there, was big. But the whole strategy there was, you know, let's keep them at 1s and 4s, keep Trev on the bench, and then win it our way. And that's what we did.
We're seeing the ball, we're swinging and hitting the ball. Like, that's all there is to it. It's a simple game. There's nothing complicated about it. You see the ball out the hand, swing the bat, hit the ball, run.
Drew, you compared yourself to a dog earlier.
Yes.
I want to know which dog you see yourself as.
I'm not proud of it at all. I hate it, but my friends at home compare me to a Chihuahua quite a bit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do you agree with them?
No, not at all.
Why did you say it, Dan?
Well, because I just feel like I have
Sounds
to
like
be
you agree with
truthful. I have to be truthful.
What you've heard.
Yeah. I like a border collie.
Okay.
I like to run. A little smart sometimes, but sometimes not.
To get political.
Sometimes you run into the slide door.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Right before this press conference, Trevor Plouffe had a couple words for you, Jolly. Said you guys are cocky as shit. I believe that was the direct.
Oh.
That's not true.
I don't.
We are competitive as well. We are here to win, all right? So, I mean, he can be a great MLB player, but that's off the field, and we are here to win, right? So it's important for us to put our best foot forward, and we showed it. I mean, I know he doesn't like losing, but I'm sorry, he has to face the consequences.
Maybe we are the cockiest team.
Respectfully, of course. Respectfully.
With all due respect. With all due respect.
How do you guys keep this going now? You guys, 2 wins, 2 good performances, a lot of pressure now to keep it going, it feels like.
Not really. There's no pressure, as I said in the post-match conference as well. I have a great bunch of guys. It's more like a reaction. No pressure. I mean, we're underdogs. If we do well, we do well. If we don't, we are not supposed to do well. So you know what I'm saying? So underdogs are like that. I mean, they're big dogs. They want to beat us. Everybody's putting their money on them. So I think we're doing a good job. Let's go, guys.
I think we're a big dog.
Big dogs.
Yes. Chihuahua. CHIAU. UIA. Chihuahua.
I mean, that looks wrong.
Do you want to submit that? Do you want to submit that?
That can't be right.
I'm not.
Give it one more try.
Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
CHIUAUAUA. Chihuahua.
Where is it? Think of it like chi, hua, hua. Think of it like that.
Is there H's in there?
There are H's.
2
in there.
H's. 3 H's.
3 H's if you want to get technical.
I mean, it looks better.
Does it?
It looks better the second time. I think you got closer.
I once got out in a spelling bee on the word angry.
Did it make you angry?
That's tough.
ANRGY.
Okay, something that's really stood out to me, especially from the post-game press conferences and in-game, was Drew referring to himself as a dog. And what was great about it is he put emphasis on it's not like a dog, it's a chasing the balls dog. He said he's a Chihuahua. What would you say was?
I think he also said a border collie. I was gonna go like Labrador or Golden Retriever. Those fit more his vibe.
Yeah.
But if he wants to run with Chihuahua, which he cannot spell, unfortunately, we're just gonna have to let him. It's Drew Davis, and he's too sweet for us to tell him no. So.
Well, there's going to be lots of dogs on the court for Game 6.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of these two teams, we have some breaking news. Kels, what you got on it?
And Paxton, I would almost argue that this is the nitty-gritty. I mean, we just got breaking news into our owner's suite here at the warehouse in Jersey City that Jimmy O'Brien has been placed on the IL with an eyeball situation. So he will not be available in today's massive game that's fighting for the 1 seed. It's going to be Zoe stepping in for Team Baggage. His 4th game already of the tournament, his 3rd team already of the tournament. So all the pressure on Zoe to come through for the boss's team.
He's literally taking the place of the creator of this game. So just let that sink in. Obviously, there was some pressure going on Forgotten Rotten for Zoe, right? Just because of, you know, the history of the warehouse, the egos that he has to deal with. But this is different. This is Baggage. This is the team that created the warehouse and created this entire league. And Zoe, I feel like, is going to go out there and kill it. I have faith in Zoe.
Well, another interesting component of this that we haven't hit on yet is that Zoe is above the height requirement on Team Baggage.
Yes.
There is a very strict 6-foot height requirement. You have to be below 6 feet to be on Team Baggage. And based off of my calculations in this moment, I do think that Zoe is a little taller than 6 foot. So we'll have to see how that affects their strategy, if they'll even really allow him to get off of the bench with that fighting against him.
Yep.
But it's going to be I'm very intrigued of how Team Baggage is going to respond to losing who we see to be their captain.
All right, let's hear from Chris Rose and Daren Sammy.
I am super excited as a pair of 1-0 teams go at it. Pinstripe strong, taking on Team Baggage. And let's start with the big news for Team Baggage. Their founder, the heart and soul of that squad, Jimmy O'Brien, will not be playing. He's got a little bit of an eye issue, so Zoe is going to fill in basically as a designated fielder. We won't see him as a striker unless it really, really comes down to a dire situation. What does that mean for Team Baggage?
Oh, man, they're losing some experience here, and you know how dedicated Jimmy is to winning. He wants to win this tournament, so get well soon. You know, hope he could hear us, you know, but we send him our best wishes. But I think his team still have enough in the tank to come out and be victorious.
Well, he has produced the most runs so far for Team Baggage, and they're going to have to find somebody that can fill his role, because you're talking about taking on a Pinstripe strong team that's led by Lou Dab, a guy that produced 55 runs by himself in their opening round victory. They scored 109 runs. That's the most of any team so far.
Yes, Lou was cooking. Yes, in the first round. I mean, to hit 8 fours and 3 sixes. I think he faced 16 good pitches, and he scored 55 runs. That's some serious ball striking. So they need him to continue in order for them to get to that pole position in that group.
So the winner not only remains undefeated, but also gets a first-round bye come playoff time. The loser will square off against Lovias.
Now, Pinstripe Strong, on the other hand,
Pinstripe Bombs.
Bombs. Yeah, and they kept saying that over and over and over when I talked to them. Pinstripe Strong, they are coming off of a hot first game. I have 2 of the superstars right next to me, which, might I say, you underplayed big time pre-game interview. Why was you strategizing that way?
Because that's the vibe we were getting from everybody else, so why not play into it? Underdogs, no expectations, let's come out and show them right on the field.
I love that. Did you have any expectation to actually play that well, or were you just kind of hoping for the best?
I think we could play better, to be honest. My guy Lou right here is the machine. The rest of us just got to follow suit.
I love that. Now, Lou, so you guys are going up against Baggage. What do you see as their obvious strength and weakness going up against them today?
They're going to hit, but I think it's going to come down to the keeper, who has the better keeper. Because that's, I think that's an underrated position, but that you got to have a good keeper. He's got to be able to get like the balls, track the balls behind the, what do we call that again over there? The magic hole, yeah. Magic hole, yeah.
Magic hole, yeah. Now, Shelby, last question. Joe's McFly.
Yeah.
Different kind of energy, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be on a team with him?
Good. Feels great. Wouldn't want anyone else leading this pack of hitting wolves. We're here, and we're not going anywhere. We're going to be even better in day 2 here. I'm pumped up. I'm getting pumped up right now.
What?
Pinstripe Bombs.
Pinstripe Bombs.
Pinstripe. When do we play? I'll play right now.
Okay, yeah. Back, Kelsey, take this.
Thanks so much, Paxton. Down here with Team Baggage now, with Aaron Jones. Aaron, yesterday in y'all's game, we talked about it a lot. Your timing, being able to heat up. You finally got that timing. You finally got that bat. How much is that confidence going to bleed over for you to lead the charge for Team Baggage today in your second game of the tournament?
I'll definitely be confident to score some runs today. I just need to get a few swings in before the game starts, and I think I'll be good to go.
Jake, I know you and Jimmy take a lot of pride in your pitching here in the warehouse. A lot of your hitting pride as well, but you guys spend a lot of time trying to figure out pitches and stuff. But Joe's McFly's team, Pinstripe Bombs, has been labeled as the best pitching in this tournament. How do you respond to that?
I'm going to say a few things. I don't like how you asked your questions. That was a little messed up. It felt targeted.
It was.
It was. And that's okay. And I respect that. Pinstripe Strong stinks. Pinstripe Strong stinks. They can hit, though. They put up a big number, and that's going to be the difference. And we showed when we need to do that, we can do that. Yeah. So we're going to do that. I don't plan on losing.
What we have learned, the non-cricketers of this tournament, we think, is that maybe we put too much of an emphasis on good pitching, and it's really about good hitting, especially here for the Ball and Play League. Is that how it is in cricket? There's just a much higher emphasis on hitting, which is what made Pinstripe Strong, your opponent today, so successful yesterday.
I guess you could say so in some circumstances. It all depends on the surface. Like in this game, the ball don't touch the ground. So it's kind of an advantage for the batsman. Yeah. In cricket, the ball actually touches the ground. So after the ball touches the ground, it can go left, right, it can bounce, it can keep low, whatever the case may be. So it's much harder to hit the ball in cricket. So I feel it's like a fairer chance for the bowler and the batsman in cricket.
Awesome. Great breakdown from Aaron Jones. Can I please have you two stand back to back?
Aaron's taller. All right, more in the pregame show.
Paxton, I would love to get your prediction on team baggage versus pinstripe bombs.
You know what? I made the mistake of going so hard against pinstripe bomb. I can't do it. With Lou Dab and Shelfie, they're unstoppable. And Joe's McFly, the energy that he brings just as like the captain and just like cheerleader on the side, he has like 12 different celebration dances, and I really think that adds a lot to the overall performance.
Yes, unwavering confidence from Joe's McFly. I also will take pinstripe bombs in this matchup, not only because they were the first team to pass that century mark. We know that they can hit. They have made that very clear that they can hit. But we don't want you to forget that Team We Got Ice, who is known for their pitching, especially in 3-time Cy Young winner Jack Doyle, pinned Pinstripe Strong as the best pitching in this tournament. So they can get it done on both sides of the ball, especially with that side arm slot for Shelfie and Lou. So it'll be a really interesting game here as we get you ready for Team Baggage taking on Pinstripe Strong. Thank you so much for tuning in with us for this pregame show. We cannot wait to see you for Game 6. We're ready. We hope you guys are. We'll see you at 6 p.m. at the game premiere.
We'll be down there.